This older sister is truly a pervert. Even though her younger brother had been turned into stone by a monster, she wasn't anxious at all. Rather, it would be more accurate to say she was pleased by it, because this way her brother couldn't resist. She thought this was a blessing from the heavens. She could take advantage of him and not have to take responsibility afterward. But the sister had miscalculated. It turns out the brother was fully aware of her perverted actions. Even if he had been petrified by the snake monster, he could still retain a clear consciousness. However, the sister didn't have the ability to lift the petrification. Several members of the harem group went to find a cure, but they all came back empty-handed. The sister soon thought of a good idea. Maybe if she soaked her brother in hot water, he would return to normal. And of course, they could also take a bath together while they were at it, because being petrified meant he couldn't close his eyes. Just like that, the brother was forced to witness things he shouldn't have seen. Afterwards, the sister carried him away in a strange position and even used him as a clothes rack. Seeing that the hot bath didn't work either, the sister then considered using a kiss to wake him up. After all, there's the example of a princess's true love's kiss, so the sister believed her kiss could break the curse too. But just then, Maria suddenly lowered her head, instantly ruining the sister's plan. She even mistakenly thought Maria was trying to steal the brother's first kiss. But actually, the kiss couldn't break the curse. But Maria did have the ability to cure the brother's petrification. With one hand casting a spell, she instantly turned the brother into light, and the next second, he broke free from the stone. Afterwards, Maria rewarded the brother with a face wash as comfort, because having consciousness while being trapped in stone was very painful. Only then did the sister finally realize all her perverted behavior had been witnessed by her brother.
Feeling guilty, she immediately made an excuse and ran off. Back in her room, she showed a shy expression. Looks like another tall, dominant big sister type with a soft heart. This character setting is simply lovable. One day, the brother woke up to find a new girl in front of him. Turns out, she specifically requested him to help her move houses, and the requester was the blonde girl who had just fallen in love with him. Actually, the girl hadn't gotten permission from her family to move, but her strength was so great no one could stop her. On the way, the girl complained that her father was overprotective. Even without relying on them, she could live just fine. This made the brother feel a bit of sympathy, thinking her life after leaving home might be difficult. But surprisingly, her new base turned out to be a large villa. Since he had taken the job, the brother had to move things honestly, though it looked more like the girl was helping him. Fortunately, the love-struck girl didn't notice how weak the brother really was. She even fell into a fantasy, imagining the scene of a newlywed couple moving into their new home. This shout confirmed something for the distant housekeeper. The reason her young lady insisted on moving must be because this boy is deceiving her. This time, the housekeeper came fully prepared. Even if the boy was known as a genius youth, she wasn't afraid, because she brought a dragon-class adventurer. That level was more than enough to deal with the brother. She was determined to make the boy suffer this time, but just as the thought crossed her mind, a purple glow shone from behind. The two froze and turned around, only to see a woman radiating murderous intent staring them intently. The blonde girl suddenly felt stomach pain, and the housekeeper immediately claimed she was just an old lady and it was time for her to go home and take a nap. At this moment, the brother was already stuffed full in the villa. The girl planned to keep him at home, but couldn't think of a good way to do it, so she asked the maid for advice. The maid first suggested hiring the brother as a live-in worker. This idea matched the girl's intentions exactly.
Just imagining the brother in a maid outfit made her drool. But obviously, the brother wouldn't agree easily. They had to create a reason for him to come regularly, and forming a team and making this villa the base was the best choice. This time, the brother didn't refuse, and even went to ask the guild receptionist for advice. She reassured him that the guild supported team formation, and all he needed to do was pick a name to register. Coincidentally, Sophie overheard this. She strongly requested to join the team. Thus, the brother formed his own harem group. Naturally, the task of naming the group fell to Sophie. But with three girls standing too close, the brother recalled last night's bath scene, and his brain completely shut down on the spot. Seeing this, the older sister helped name the group. This was the most blessed little brother I'd ever seen. At home, he had two unbeatable older sisters, and out in the world, a whole harem followed him around. Just one day at the beach, and the brother had to wear glasses because there were simply too many girls and he couldn't handle it. That day, the brother received a task to subdue a shark. After hearing the news, the sister wanted to tag along. Miki and Min Yue said it was to protect the brother, but in truth, they just wanted to see him in swimsuits and to rub sunscreen on each other. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Though the idea sounded great, once they arrived at the beach, the sister wasn't happy because the brother was surrounded by four beautiful girls. The blonde girl and the maid had come because they'd been secretly following the brother. Once they found out his destination, they came ahead to stage a coincidence. Sophie wanted to stay by the brother's side at all times, so the receptionist reluctantly brought her along too. But now that they were here, it wasn't so bad. They could witness the brother's heroic monster battle up close. The brother instantly broke into a cold sweat. His amateur skills were about to be exposed. He quickly begged his sister for help. Fortunately, the maid brought good news. She had already completed the mission for him. Turns out when they arrived at the beach, they were attacked, so she casually took care of all the sharks. That means they now had nothing to do and could enjoy the beach freely. The thoughtful maid had even prepared swimsuits for everyone. This maid was just too considerate. Soon, Maria also arrived following their tracks. With everyone now gathered, the girls started a battle over the brother. Whoever won 3 rounds of beach sports could make the brother agree to one request, and the brother himself wasn't allowed to refuse. Thus, a land-grabbing war began. Though the process was intense, it was also a visual feast, and the powerful sister won the victory without suspense. But just as she was about to enjoy the reward, Sophie and the others were suddenly trapped by Shark. The lead shark said he was here for revenge. Turns out the sharks defeated earlier by the maid were his underlings. This time, the Shark King had brought all the shark coins and dams from the sea. Although it all sounded overly dramatic, they were still not very strong.
Maria simply reverted to her true form and took them all out in one blast. But the unconscious red-haired girl wasn't satisfied. Even if she was going to die, she wanted to drag someone down with her. To save his sister, the brother was knocked into a whirlpool by a tail swipe. Just as his consciousness faded, he saw his sister. When he opened his eyes again, he was on a deserted island. Seeing him wake up, the sister was moved to tears. She had prepared for the worst. If the brother didn't wake up and was sent into unconscious limbo, she wouldn't mind going in after him. Although that was all for later, right now the two were on a deserted island. First, they needed to secure food, water, and a place to sleep. Normally, this would be the start of a survival story in the wild, but the sister was anything but normal. In no time, she built a small house, then went to the beach and caught a big fish. After a delicious dinner, the two lay under the sunset. Anyone watching would think they were on vacation. Perhaps because they looked too relaxed, a mechanical shark suddenly burst from the sea. He claimed to be the Shark King, ruler of the local sea and one of the 10 shark overlords. But before he could finish speaking, he was blasted by an energy cannon. Maria and the harem group suddenly jumped out. Turns out, they had been secretly watching the two all along. Because the sister had won the earlier competition, spending a day alone with the brother on the island was her chosen reward. So the others had no choice but to hide and watch the live stream in secret. But now, faced with danger, they had to show themselves. However, the sister didn't need their help at all. Their appearance only ruined her quality time with the brother. Hearing this, the Shark King also got angry. Clearly, no one was taking him seriously. Furious, he began to transform.